What are some of the common differences between a commercial deal and a residential deal? The main difference in purchasing commercial real property is that a majority of the due diligence comes before the contract and during the due diligence period of the contract. The major difference with a commercial contract and a residential contract is that your contract of sale may include a due diligence period between a week to a month to conduct any sort of research on the property or the building so that the investor knows what they're actually buying. What does that mean? An investor who's purchasing commercial real property wants to be sure that they'll have a return on the investment that they're anticipating. If the investor is purchasing a 6-family, they want to be sure that there's a CO for a 6-family, that there are no encroachments with a survey to lose that portion of the real property that they're purchasing. You also want to be sure that there are no encumbrances, maybe a mechanics lien, or some sort of loan that won't be able to be paid off with the proceeds of the sale. These are big impacts that for an investor, because they need to know how much money they can actually make on the purchase and the sale of this property. Many due diligence items would include an environmental inspection, a survey, a title search even prior to entering a contract, and thorough searches on Department of Buildings, Finance, and ACRIS to further verify and solidify the information that you're obtaining from the title company and to make an educated and informed decision as to whether this investment property is actually worth what you're purchasing it for. A major consideration would be zoning laws. If it's a landmark property or area, these are all things and considerations that a purchaser should make when buying commercial real estate as opposed to residential real estate. When someone's purchasing their home, they may not necessarily look at this as a return on investment as a consideration. Instead, you're imagining your family, your dog, the backyard. So it's a very different type of transaction and a very different approach to each transaction in terms of the time frame, the contingencies, as well as the contract itself. If someone's purchasing commercial property for the first time, I highly, highly recommend reviewing the contract of sale with their attorney through every line that you can, just so you understand exactly what you're getting yourself into. And definitely consider a due diligence period in the contract so that you could potentially have a time frame to make a decision on whether this is something you want to proceed with or not.